Do you ever wonder why you're doing what you do in life? Do you wish that you could be really happy and passionate about what you do? Or maybe you already are and you want to expand in a different direction. Hi, I'm Barbara Ann, host of What the Why? I love what I do. A lot of that has to do with my story, my journey to this point in life. And guess what? Everybody has a story. So please join me for conversations with leaders from all walks of life about what they do, and more importantly, why they do it, how they found their core purpose, their passion, their mission in life. And if you're looking for your own, maybe you'll get some great suggestions on how you too can find your why. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of What the Why. If you haven't seen us before, our show features conversations with diverse leaders from all walks of life about why they do what they do and how they figured it out. Maybe you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, or you feel stuck and you want to get unstuck in your job, your career, your life. All of our guests have something in common with you. At some point, they felt similarly in their own way and went through some kind of major pivot, and today is no exception. I'm super excited to have Brenda Kiss joining me today. We've been trying to make this happen for a couple of years. For whatever reason, God and the universe made us wait until now, and so it's finally happening. And Brenda, I know her mom. We're both Jersey girls, so, you know. But more importantly, Brenda Kiss is a spiritual manifestation mentor who empowers women to heal, align, and manifest their desires. And so that is her bio, and that sums it up. And literally years later, we are finally manifesting and having this conversation. So, without further ado, from the woman who literally her website is kissyourstrugglesgoodbye.com, please join me in welcoming 4 years after the fact from the first invite, Brenda Kiss. So, woo! Round of applause. Yay! So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thanks so much. I'm so excited. It finally worked out exactly when it was meant to, of course. And I'm glad you were persistent, I was persistent, and we made it happen.
Absolutely. And shout out to your mom.
Hi, Mom.
and uh, who I also have the pleasure of getting to know. And so after we read the bio, we always start with the very same first question for every guest. And that, of course, is, you know, I don't know if you really imagine you'd be doing what you're doing now. So, what did little Brenda want to be when she was growing up?
Ah, so the youngest version of me from the very first time I can remember what I wanted to be growing up was a mom. I wanted to be a mom. I wanted my Prince Charming to sweep me away, and I wanted to raise babies. And I am a mom. I am a mom of three sons, and I married my Prince Charming. We're together 24 years, I believe. With what year are we? 20, we're together 24 years. Yeah, married 20 years.
Awesome. And congratulations on, because that in of itself is a huge accomplishment, especially, both the choice and the responsibility of raising three young men in
Yes,
today's world.
yes.
And so you accomplished that. You're one of the few people who actually has done what they really wanted to do as a child. But that's just the beginning
That was
of so many other things that you've done. So, how did you get from being that little girl who wanted to marry her Prince Charming and having a man, or having a family, to literally being the person that helps people heal, align, and manifest their desires?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. There was always, that little girl with the dreams, right? She always exists within me. She was always leading the way and telling me things were possible and life was good, and anything I ever wanted was available. And I believed her. I always believed her. But life didn't actually manifest that way for me. I I married my husband. We have three sons, and this is back when my third son may have been like 1 or 2 years old. I just remember sitting in my kitchen eating my emotions, eating my worries, eating my fears away, hiding in the closet, and then beating myself up not only for eating all the food, but I literally manifested the life that I wanted. I was a stay-at-home mom with three beautiful sons, a husband that was super supportive and whatever we wanted. I was homeschooling my kids at the time. I mean, I was living the life that I chose. And I was unhappy. And I couldn't figure out why I was unhappy.
Wow.
And it made no sense to me. I was unhappy with the way I looked. I was unhappy. I overthought every decision I made. Like, I was homeschooling with the kids. I'm like, should I take them to a play date? Should I take them to a co-op? Should we stay home? Should we do math work? Should we do this? What should we do, right? Should we go outside? And it was just this part of me that was like resentful because I was unhappy, because I should be happy because I had everything I wanted.
Yeah.
And I think there was a moment, I don't think there was a moment, I can tell you the year and the month. I can probably figure out the date because I went somewhere that day. It was 2014. I had, no, it wasn't 2014. It was 2011.
Oh.
2011, I had, no, 14. Anyhow, somewhere's around there. I had gone to a business conference. I had just had my third son, so it was maybe 2013 because he was born in 2012. And I went to a conference, and someone said to me, "You are pregnant with your fourth child. Congratulations." Four people said that to me that day. And I was
Wow.
just like, wow, I have really lost all touch with my body. And um, it had to be 2014 because I had wasn't having the pregnancy weight.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I just remember that day being so uncomfortable in my body, so uncomfortable in my life, and I needed to make a change. And that was the day I went home and I booked a call with a coach. This is the abbreviated version. Um, and my life changed. And I knew from that moment that anything and everything was possible and it was available for me. And that's where my journey for helping. And I do want to rewind. Like, when I was that little girl, even in the down, even like, when family members passed or things were challenging for people, I always was there to help people smile. I was always there to help people get through the challenging times. But the decision to take care of me in 2014, that was what changed. Like, yeah, I could help everybody else, but the moment I decided to help me was when everything changed. And that's when I decided that I had to show women, particularly, not that I don't influence men, but mostly women, that no matter where they've came from, no matter their past, no matter what has happened, you can create and live the life that you truly desire.
And that takes a tremendous amount of courage.
Mm.
There's one thing for you to do it for yourself. It's another thing to also help others on that same journey while you're on that journey.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so where did you find the courage to say, you know what? this doesn't work for me anymore. I'm gonna go bold and focus on myself and help others do the same.
So where was it like where did I find the courage to make the decision to take care of me and then start my business? That's the question.
Yeah. Yes, because there was overlap. You were doing both.
I still am, right? I'm
Yeah,
always working on myself. Um, the courage to me, and I think first, courage is the catalyst of change. And
yeah,
every person has courage. And it's whether you listen to the courage or you listen to the fear, right? And so, courage to me is this belief and connection to spirit, to God, to the universe, to the divine. And I know that to be my truth. I know I'm connected to spirit. I know I'm connected to God. However you call your higher power, right? God,
mhm,
universe, light, love, they're all the same to me, but some people have their own definitions. And uh, I mean, I don't know if I would have put that in words when I said yes to me, like God was like talking to me, but that's for sure what was happening. And I think every courageous act comes from inspiration, and inspiration is from the God within. So, um, yeah, so it was a deep knowing that I deserved more. I deserved to be happy. There was no reason to be unhappy. I mean, I had plenty of reasons in my childhood. You know, I was bullied, I was molested, I was date raped. Like, I had plenty of reasons,
yeah.
but I wasn't going to let those reasons continue to control my life.
And it's interesting because that's where we have some overlap, especially with some of the assaults
Hmm.
issues. And it never ceases to amaze me that how some people can let that completely derail their path, where others will, at the risk of using the term find the gift, they will find a way to tap into their resilience and use that to help others instead.
Yeah.
And and so a huge part of what you've done is to do that as well. Um, and to your point, so many people think courage is the absence of fear, and it's not. Courage is stepping out and doing it in spite of the fear.
Freezing. I mean, fear is always going to exist because we are a human. That's the human part of us. The human part of us wants to stay alive, wants to keep us safe, wants to keep us in the knowing. And growth and connection, like it doesn't make logical sense, right? To step outside your comfort zone, it doesn't make logical sense in our brain. So the fear part of us, the ego part of us, is like, stay in your lane, stay in your box, because out here, I don't know if I can protect you. So fear
Mhm.
is always going to be around, but we don't need fear to stop us from growing. We need fear to keep us from alive, to keep us alive, to keep
Right.
like, to not move in front of moving, to not step into a moving car, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. There's the necessary survival response, and then there's the times that it shows up where you're not really in a fight or flight mode, but it shows up that way. And
Hmm.
then how do you navigate that? And that's true. So you go on this journey and you bring other women on and men too, but primarily we'll just refer to them as humans. You bring other humans along with you. And how healing is a huge part of that. And so how do you help others navigate their unique? Because all of us are unique. We've all been through stuff. I always say everybody has a story. How do you help them navigate that healing journey?
Simple answer from my heart. logical answer is I, I think God has blessed me with an analytical brain and a very open heart, right? So,
Hmm.
um, what I see is that the women that I work with, I influence men, but in my business, it's 99.9% women. But um, they need to be held. They need to be held and felt safe and comfortable. And when you do that, you can lead them through a step-by-step process. That's what happens. I hold them, I support them, I love on them in a very non-judgmental way, right? They're already judging themselves.
Yes.
So in a very non-judgmental way, I hold space for them, and then I guide them and I take them through a step-by-step process. And I will say for me, after years of trying to find help, when I didn't think help was, I thought asking for help was uh, not good, right? Like you
Sure.
weren't,
Asking for help is weak. That's what our judge tells us.
yeah,
Oh, you're
or
weak if you need to ask for help.
you got to be really sick if you go to a therapist, or there's got to be something really wrong with you if you do this, like this. And, I didn't want to think that there was something wrong with me. But um, I forget where I was going with that now.
In terms of helping others navigate, their judge
Yeah,
and
so
getting in the way.
not having, often women are judging themselves on every little tiny piece of information. And, like I said, God blessed me with this open heart to hold space. Like, I really have worked with women who have been trafficked, kidnapped, all like have abused not just being the abused, but have abused others. And none of that is uh, is something I hold judgment against. I am here to see the God within them so that they can see the God within themselves. Yeah. And so this is what I was going to say. After years of searching for what worked, like I looked at churches. Like I really felt a calling to God, but I didn't feel a calling to the religion that grew up in. And I was trying to find a space where I could connect with God. Like I always knew God existed, but how do I connect with God? Because I didn't feel God's presence. I didn't hear God's words. I didn't hear the guidance. And so I searched churches. I read 1,000 self-help books. My dad indoctrinated me with Zig Ziglar when I was in high school. I loved Zig Ziglar. Um, what else? I thought if I fixed my body, meaning if I lost weight and made it the perfect body, I would be better. I would feel better. So I worked out. I spent a lot of money in gyms. I spent a lot of money in personal development world. And it wasn't until I put these pieces together that my healing clicked. And this is how I help women: is neuroscience, understanding the brain, the pathways, the patterning, the associations we have, um, energy healing, understanding your chakras and how they form, like how do they get in balance, what does that even mean, what are the chakras, all that. um, Emotions, I think this is really big, is really helping women process and move through and honor their emotions. As a woman, we have lots of emotions, and our emotions, I believe, are our superpower. They are what we attract things, how we attract things, how we influence things. Like if a woman if the woman of the house is upset, that energy ripples to the rest of the house, right? Our emotions are our superpower. If the woman is happy and grounded and present, then the rest of the house is happy. You heard it, happy wife, happy life, right? Like it really does come down to the energy that the woman is portraying, is how the her environment responds. So energy healing, spirituality, embodiment. So embodiment being emotions. How do you process? No, that's a second. Process emotion, and then embodiment. How do you be the frequency of what it is that you want? How do you get there, right? So many people talk about, oh, be, and to me, it's not. It is, yeah, be the woman, right? Be the woman that you are, but how do you be the woman when you're still trying to heal or let go or forgive or people please? Like, how do you go from here to here?
And I think you nailed it. It's the fact that you're helping them move through the emotions. You've been very careful about pointing out that God can be different things to different people. But one of the things I like to talk about with the people that I work with is even the Bible says there's a time to mourn. Even Jesus wept. There's an importance of moving through the emotions because from a neuroscience perspective, if we don't, we can literally become blocked. We can literally not be able to process any emotions. Um, uh,
Funny analogy. When you're done, I'll share my analogy to that.
yeah, go ahead. Share it now.
Oh, I always say you can't put ice cream, like good feeling thoughts, on a pile of poop and expect the ice cream to taste good.
That is a very visual and accurate representation. Uh, although it may be a way to keep you from eating the ice cream, yes. Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
addicted to food, so it's a great analogy. I don't want any crappy. If I'm gonna eat ice cream, I want it to taste good.
yes. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no. And so helping people move through the emotions, a lot of people want to suppress them.
Yes.
And so much of the trauma is in that suppression. Part of what I'm hearing you say, and something that I say often is, you know, events are events. Trauma is the response to those events. And what I'm also hearing you say is a huge part of what you do is you help people heal by moving them through the emotion
Without
of those experiences.
yes, without judgment on themselves or not judgment on the people that cause the trauma either.
Yes. Oh, thank you for pointing that out too, because I talk about, in fact, somebody wrote it down. I said there's judgment of self, judgment of others, and judgment of circumstances, right?
Hmm.
And we are our own. No one can judge us for the most part. No one can judge us better than ourselves.
Hmm.
And so the fact that you are walking people through this experience from a place of discernment and non-judgment is so important to helping them learn how to treat themselves. And for those out there who are curious, this is the work. Like this really is the work. And it really starts with taming that inner critic and judge. And a huge part of what I'm hearing you do is that because it starts there. I mean, and again, you and I have some things in common. We won't get into that in this particular situation, but even some of those things, it was really hard not to judge yourself.
Yes.
Why didn't I know? Why didn't I understand? Why didn't I stop it? Why didn't I speak up? Whatever.
Yep.
And that prolongs the pain.
Yeah. So it's forgiveness of self. There's,
Yeah.
you know, I believe forgiveness is the key to all things. I also believe that there's a process to get to forgiveness.
Yeah.
It's not that you can just say, oh, I'm going to forgive this person who did this to me when you are still holding on to all of that hurt and disgust or pain or suffering and all this. It's what are the steps leading up to that? So for me, it's like I have to help them feel safe in their body first and then release some of that emotion. Because if all of that emotion is in there, it's actually blocking the heart that's available to forgive. And so it's like let's clear out the emotions so that you can be safe and able to forgive.
And and I'm really glad you mentioned that. Interestingly, I won't name her, but a very famous talk show host. I happened to watch an episode with her that I had recorded back in June, and for whatever reason, I wasn't meant to watch it till over the weekend. And she talked about how she could never forgive, ever, ever forgive. And I sat there and I thought, wow, so many people don't realize that forgiveness is for us.
Yes.
It's our way of, in another world, what we would say, keeping your hand on the hot stove is not letting go, not forgiving. But you do have to be ready.
Yeah.
And and that is a huge part of what you do, is helping people move through that,
Mhm.
um, which then helps them align. And so, but again, there's also the other part, the energy healing too. And as someone who works with an energy healer and naturopath, um, people don't realize the power of working with chakras and Reiki and energy healing. So, in some of the time that we have left, can you talk to the importance of some of that?
Well, I think just like it's really important to work with your mind, it's really important to work with your emotions, it's really important to work with your energy and understanding energy. Energy is an invisible frequency that is connected to all things, right? Like we
Mhm.
are, it's literally there, like all around us all the time. Everything is energy, everything is energy. And so when I talk about energy, and we do uh, I mean, I use Reiki. I do a technique called transformative neuro Reiki, where I bring in neuroscience in with my Reiki sessions, and so it creates the mental shift with the energetic shift, which is really powerful. Um, I guess I'll say understanding the chakras and energy was the missing piece for me.
Mhm.
When I learned about the chakras and how our body is influenced, how not influenced by words, influences by interactions, influenced by your environment, influenced by circumstances, influenced by the food you put in your body, influenced by all these things. It was just like, oh, now I know what's going on in my body, right? See, your body, in my world, your body is your biggest messenger, right? It's a way that's so easy to tune into what are your thoughts, what are you feeling, what's going on. It's a great way to hear your messages, your body communicates. It's amazing. But when you have emotions or feelings or things that you haven't processed, they get stacked on you. And now your body, even though the frequency is trying to penetrate, your body has all of this gunk kind of
Mhm.
layered on you, and you can't feel your heart, you can't hear your voice anymore, you can't see what's possible, you don't hear your guidance from above, you feel like you're all over a place because you're not rooted, right? And so when you work with energy and you understand your chakra system, it's a way to take all of that and just kind of whoop, take it off. And all of a sudden, you feel grounded, you feel open, you feel clear, you feel light, you feel empowered, and you feel connected to spirit because you don't have all of that influence that you didn't know. And even if you do know, if you're not processing it and moving through it, it comes back. I mean, it blocks you, and energy
Yeah.
is energy. So we all can be triggered by something and put up these energy, blocks in our body.
Yeah. And working with you when they're ready helps them to take those blocks down.
Yes.
So, and believe it or not, we're almost at time.
Oh my God.
So, for our loyal listeners, thank you so much. And Brenda's contact information is going to be in the comment sections below each of the audios and or videos wherever you are accessing this podcast. But for those who are listening right now and are viewing, what is the best way for people to connect with you?
Two ways. I would say my Instagram, Brenda.Kiss is my handle. And then Kiss Your Struggles Goodbye brings you to my private Facebook group. And so if you want tips and things like, I don't know, I do I do a bunch of stuff in my private group, so that would be a great place to come hang out as well.
Yeah. And I will testify to that. I'm actually a member of your group. And so I get information on a regular basis and invites to opportunities to see you do Facebook Live and things like that. And so, um, the fact that you make that available is also a fantastic resource for people, to get to know you and get to know others as, everybody starts this journey in a different place.
Hmm.
And, and just like having you on the show, sometimes it takes a little bit, but it happens exactly when it's supposed to, as you pointed out. So, thank you again, and for coming on our show. And for those of you who are watching, uh, thank you. You have so many viewing options these days. So many. There's so many things out there. So we really appreciate that you take the time to listen and or watch our show. And if we've helped you in any way, please feel free to share this with others and help us get the message to others about how the possibilities are limitless, um, once you make the choice to pursue them.
Hmm.
And as we always wrap up our show, please remember, whether you're looking to make changes, no matter how big or small, tune in again for more insightful, illuminating, and educational conversations with guests such as Brenda, who faced whatever challenges or obstacles or fears may have been in their path, and they overcame them and were pushed through them and are moved through them to find their purpose and live it.